We're talking about body parts far beyond the norm, hands as big as dinner plates, eyelashes that brush the lips, legs taller than most doors. These striking traits often come from unique genetics or rare medical conditions. Join us in this video as we explore people with the most unusual bodies in the world.
Have you ever heard of Annie Hawkins Turner? She's the woman with the biggest natural breasts in the world. No implants, no surgery, just how she was born. She started developing when she was very young, way earlier than the other girls, and they just kept growing. Doctors said she had a rare condition called gigantomastia. Basically, her body just doesn't know when to stop producing tissue. Each one weighs over 40 pounds. That's like carrying 2 heavy bags around all the time. And it's not just size. There's back pain, headaches, trouble sleeping, all of it. Most people with this condition get reduction surgery, but Annie didn't want that. She said this is her body and she wants to stay the way she is. Of course, people stare. Some take photos without asking or act weird, but she doesn't let it bother her. She's done modeling, appeared on TV, and traveled the world. She owns it. She's not ashamed, and she's not hiding.
Have you ever seen those guys online with arms so big they look fake? Like, so big you're not sure if it's muscle. That's how Rorario dos Santos Alves is built. Rorario is from Brazil. He was really into bodybuilding, but at some point, lifting weights wasn't enough for him. He wanted to get big fast. So he started injecting something called synthol. It's this mix of oil, painkillers, and alcohol. People use it to inflate their muscles, not to make them stronger, just bigger. And that's exactly what happened. His arms were massive, like the size of a person's head. He got tons of attention, especially online. Some people thought it was cool, others not so much. At first, Rorario liked the attention. He said people treated him like a superhero. But that didn't last. The stuff he was injecting started messing with him. His arms became so swollen and hard he couldn't even hold his baby without pain. Then, the doctors told him if he didn't stop, they might have to cut off his arms. Eventually, he stopped. He got surgeries to remove the gunk from his arms. He still has the damage. You can't undo all of it. Now, he tells his story to warn other guys.
Adrienne Lewis gained her internet fame after she displayed something that she never imagined people to ever see, which was her long tongue. Her tongue is more than 4 inches long and can extend to near her eye. Most people believe that it is unproven that a girl's tongue can be that long. She never intended to be viral. She simply uploaded several photographs and videos as entertainment, demonstrating what she can do. Adrienne did not hide. She coped with the attention confidently. Soon, she was being invited to TV shows. Oh my God, you can touch your nose with it. The elbow, online interviews, and featured in magazines. She even attempted to get into the Guinness World Records for the longest female tongue. On one show, she tried drinking 250 milliliters of water from a bowl using only her tongue. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. She may or may not have the official record, but who can forget those viral videos of her doing the impossible, licking her elbow or her own eyelid like it was no big deal? Svetlana Pankratova has the longest legs on Earth as a woman. The length of each leg is over 52 inches and longer than the entire upper body of most people. Although she stands about 6'5" overall, it is her long legs that get the most attention whenever she walks into a room. Svetlana was born in Russia, and she grew up knowing that something was wrong with her.
Not until I was a teenager, or maybe even later, because at first I thought I'm just tall. I never realized that my whole height is in my legs.
Her legs were developing at a rate that was far above the norm, and as she reached adolescence, she was easily noticeable anywhere she appeared. She was a basketball player, and such a great one that she even got a chance to make it onto a U.S. college basketball team where she had a working advantage due to her height and ability. Having legs that long is not always easy. Even purchasing jeans, sitting on an airplane, or passing through a narrow door are not simple to her.
Trying to find the right clothes, traveling with those long legs is very naughty.
However, Svetlana never complains. She is reputed to have a sense of humor and jokes off the awkward situations that she meets daily.
Actually, it's great for me to realize I'm the queen of the longest legs.
She embraces her height and she teaches other people to be proud of what makes them unique. When Guinness World Records acknowledged her, she featured on talk shows and became known worldwide. But fame has not transformed her. She is never distracted in following personal ambitions and is glad to be the face of women like her.
When Mandy Sellers was born, her parents noticed something unusual right away. Her legs were bigger than they should have been. Not too big at first, but just off. As she grew, the difference became more obvious. Her upper body stayed average-sized, but her legs kept growing, way bigger than what anyone had ever seen. Doctors were puzzled. For a long time, no one could explain what was going on. Some said it might fix itself, others just shrugged. But it didn't stop. By the time she was a teenager living in Lancaster, England, her legs were already making everyday life harder. Walking was tough. She had to use crutches. There wasn't a store that made pants or shoes that would fit. Despite the looks and the questions, some kind, some not, Mandy stayed strong. She knew she looked different, but she refused to act like it was something to be ashamed of. She had dreams like anyone else, and even though her body made things more complicated, she didn't back down. Eventually, a possible diagnosis came up: Proteus syndrome, the same rare disorder many believe the elephant man had. It's known for causing abnormal tissue growth. In Mandy's case, her legs were the only part affected, but they were extreme. At one point, her left leg alone weighed more than 200 pounds. Imagine dragging that around all day, every day. In 2010, things took a turn. The weight of her legs started putting her in health danger. Doctors had to amputate it above the knee. It was heartbreaking, but necessary. You'd think that would be the end of it, but it wasn't. The remaining part of her leg, it started growing again. Even after surgery, the growth didn't stop. The tissue expanded slowly. Scientists finally looked deeper and found she had a one-of-a-kind gene mutation. It wasn't Proteus syndrome after all. It was something even rarer. Basically, Mandy's DNA had its own strange rule book. Still, she didn't give up. Mandy got a prosthetic and learned to walk again, even with the weight of her other legs still slowing her down. She appeared in documentaries, spoke in interviews, and told her story the way she wanted. Her message was clear: being different isn't something to hide. You live with it, you fight through it, and you own it.
You wouldn't believe it unless you saw it with your own eyes. Gary Turner can pull the skin on his stomach out farther than most people can stretch a balloon. He can grab a fold of skin and stretch it out over 6 inches, and he doesn't wince or complain. It doesn't even hurt him. Gary was born in England, and ever since he was a kid, his skin has been way looser than anyone else's. At first, people just thought he was double-jointed or something, but as he got older, it became clear that something was different. His skin would stretch, twist, and pull in ways that made folks stop and stare. Turns out, Gary has a rare condition called Ehlers-Danlos syndrome. It messes with the body's collagen, which is what keeps your skin and joints firm. In Gary's case, it's like his body skipped the part where collagen makes things tight. His skin is soft, thin, and stretchy, almost like rubber. Instead of hiding it, Gary leaned into it. He started performing at shows, doing wild stunts with his skin. Imagine someone pulling the skin from their neck or face like it's made of dough. That's Gary, and people loved it. In 2004, he got the official title for it, the world's stretchiest skin. According to the Guinness World Records, living with a condition like his isn't all fun and games, though. Gary has said his joints can be a bit unstable, and he has to watch how much pressure he puts on his body, but he doesn't let it slow him down. He's made peace with it, and he's turned something most people would hide into something that made him stand out.
From the moment Ruma Gelgi was born, it was clear she wasn't going to live a quiet, ordinary life. While other kids were running around and trying to fit in, she was growing fast, way faster than anyone else. By the time she was a teenager, she was already way past 6 feet. Today, she's over 7 feet tall, and not just tall, but the tallest living woman in the world. Imagine walking through life and literally having to duck under every doorway. Imagine strangers stopping and staring every single time you're out in public. She has a condition called Weaver syndrome. It doesn't just affect height, it makes walking painful and moving around a full-on challenge some days. But she's never tried to hide. In fact, she's out here using her story to speak up for others who feel like they don't fit in. Being the only woman with that kind of height makes me feel really special. She has become a voice for people with rare diseases. Doesn't just have big feet, he has the biggest feet on the planet.
This guy from Venezuela wears shoes that are bigger than most people's forearms. His left foot is about 16 inches long, and his right foot is just a little shorter. Growing up, Jason always knew something was different. His feet kept growing way faster than the rest of his body. By the time he was a teenager, he couldn't find shoes anywhere. Stores didn't carry his size, and even if they tried to help, nothing ever fit. For a while, he had to wear shoes made out of cloth and stitched together at home just so he could go outside. It wasn't just about fashion either. His huge feet made walking difficult, and running was nearly impossible. Eventually, word about his situation got out, and a special shoe company in Germany stepped up and made him custom shoes for free. That moment changed his life. Suddenly, he could walk comfortably, stand tall, and stop worrying about hiding his feet.